to my channel, and I'm Alana, and this vlog is just me talking about my first year art essay that I did. The art essay that I did is on Impressionism, and I kind of was fairly new to the topic because during GCSE and A-level I don't think I covered it as much as I thought, and I'm always willing to learn like youth stuff, even now, to be honest. So yeah, so this was my first proper essay that I've done. At A-level I did do an essay of some sorts. I did like kind of one in my artwork, like me art and design subject, but it was basically just like a journal type of what I'd done and all that. And me EPQ, for those who don't know, A-level you could do extended project qualification at my sixth form that I went to, so you can do a topic of your choice, and I did Marvel and DC comics, and I got a C for it because I'm not like a writer, so I think I kind of lost like a few marks on grammar, punctuation, spelling, but I have improved on my spelling because everyone still makes like mistakes. So when you're writing, you tend to like miss out like the last letter or something. So, yep. So I did do this. So Impressionism. So I'll start reading it out. So Impressionism was developed in the 19th century in France. This practice was all about practice of painting outside the comforts and producing things on the spot spontaneously. The things that were painted were of landscapes and scenes and of actions of everyday life. And I got that from the Tate website. The main concern for the Impressionists, which was the aspect of light, Cézanne and Monet returned to the same spots that they had been before. I have noticed that when I look back at the works, so most of the paintings look similar, like the scenes. This was because they paint from changing effects of sunlight, for example. When they're in the spots that they already have, the paint's already mixed, so they don't have to mix them. And when they are ready to paint the scene, this was Cunningham.A 2000, Essential Impressionist. I think it was a book or something, I don't know. Impressionism started in 1872 and it ended in 1892, which lasted 20 years. So for the grand scheme of things, it didn't last that long. The first Impressionist exhibition was in 1874. The idea for this exhibition originated from Claude Monet, but the person that was responsible for making it happen was Degas, whatever. Many Impressionists like Monet, Degas, Cézanne, Renoir, Pissarro and others called themselves the Société Anonyme des Artistes. I feel like it was a nominous society of artists, what it looks like in English. They were a group of sculptures, printmakers, paintings and other pieces of work. The exhibition was held in Paris at 35 Boulevard des Capucines. So yeah, this is the Monet piece. Got it focused? Don't know. I'll talk about it. The image above shows a piece of work by Claude Monet, which was called Impressionism Sunrise and was painted in 1873. This shows the central figure on the boat, which a colour background, which complements it very well. Claude Monet was a man of vision. Same reference. He was born in 1849 and died in 1926. From the piece of work that he produced called Impressionism Sunrise, the movement Impressionism got its name. Rejected from the art establishment for many years, the Impressionist style was virtually defined by him. His paintings helped define the way to see the world and the nature around us. So it was Kerr G 2014 Claude Monet Masterpieces World. So Impressionism is only direct sensation. All great painters were less or more impressionist. It is mainly quite a question of instinct. So this is a quote from Claude Monet, and it's from the Art Story website, www.theartstory.org. So next page, you can see that. The piece of work above is called The White Water Lilies, which is by Claude Monet. This piece of work was produced in 1899. When he moved to Giovanni, whatever, in 1883, he painted the garden where he was living. This was his lifelong passion of horticulture. Horticulture is the branch of agriculture which deals with science, technology, business of growing plants and art. The painting of the gardens had been painted by Monet and other Impressionists throughout their careers. This painting is one of 18 views of the Lily Pond, which he called the series of their water landscapes. The piece of work was painted in the square format, and that was Cunningham A 2000 Essential Impressionists. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it on here, but I'll discuss now the paintings seen here. So there was a series of them. So the pieces of work were painted by Claude Monet. So I'm basically more talking about Claude Monet in this essay that I did, which was the Rouen Cathedral. He has painted many versions of the same sport, like what Impressionism stands for. They show different colour which shows the different times of day and the weather change. There were over 30 paintings of the Rouen Cathedral from different angles which are in different colours. This series that Monet painted were reorganised as groundbreaking. With these paintings, you can see various colour schemes working together in each of the paintings. You can see which colours complement each other and work well. For a long time, and positively, Renoir was described as an impressionist, but it wasn't so because of some pieces of work that he produced. He was born in Limoges. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's Limoges. So that, which is in central France in 1841. When he was in school, he showed an early talent for drawing. The image above shows a piece of work by Renoir. This painting is called Lise with a Parasol, which was produced in 1864. The time when this painting was produced, Renoir wanted to make an income from painting portraits. His pieces of work submitted to the salon each year. Some of them got rejected, but some he submitted a piece of artwork above, and he got accepted in 1868. The girl in the painting was Lise Trehot, and she was a 16-year-old when Renoir painted her. She was an ideal subject for him because she was physically mature but still having the freshness of youth. With the influence of Manet, this is shown with the dramatic opposition of the blue belt and the white dress. The paintwork is different to Manet. Piece of work above was painted by Renoir and is called Le Moulin de Galette Maltmade. It's in French, and sometimes I don't know how to pronounce things in French, but I gave it a go. If it's wrong, I'm sorry. I might sound a bit weird then, but hey ho. This was painted in 1875 and 1876, so it's basically over a year. The place that this piece of work was painted was the most popular place to go for entertainment. In this painting by Renoir, there is an interesting combination of artificial illumination and dappled with sunlight, which was combined to produce dancing confusion. This is constructed composition and is highly considered. This is a large painting that of the others he had painted. This piece of work above was painted by Renoir and is called The Swing. This was painted in 1876. This painting was a further study of sunlight and the effects it can produce. This painting was produced around the same time as another piece of work that he produced, which was called Moulin de la Galette. The setting of the painting was the garden of Renoir's house. On the girl's dress, the blue bows work well with the white dress. This makes the girl main focus and the central figure of the painting. The next one. The painting above was produced by Paul Cézanne and is called Apples and Oranges. This was produced in 1898 and 1899. Some of the pieces of work that Cézanne paints are still life, and this is one of the series that are painted in Paris. The order of the still life paintings is not confirmed. Each of the still life objects that he painted is a definable entity. When the objects are together, they create a kind of landscape. In this painting, there's a pyramidical structure of how the fruit is arranged. See? Next one. This painting is called Still Life with a Curtain and Flower Drug by Paul Cézanne. This was painted in 1898 and 1899. This painting is another of the 6 canvases which he painted in Paris between the times of the painting above was painted. Like the series of Monet paintings of the Rouen Cathedral, Paul Cézanne painted the same motif several times like Monet did. However, he wasn't focusing on a lighting situation, he was focusing on the objects themselves and the relationship of the world around it. He arranges the objects so it will suit the situation and have better relationship with the surroundings around them. Next one. Paul Cézanne painted this painting and it's called The Bridge Over the Pond. This was painted in 1898 and that was the year that Monet was beginning at the painting of the Japanese bridge and at the pond of Giverny. Paul Cézanne has a different way to paint them than Monet. Cézanne's series are more darkened than the ones that Monet paints. Also, Paul Cézanne paintings have a hollow interior of Gothic cathedral which has trees on each side that are leaning. This can act as a roof. The composition of the painting is structured and is the painting that every shade of green that is there, light to dark green. Paul Cézanne's work, it gives it more shape, his brush strokes to achieve good detail in the painting by overlapping them. I paint as I see, and I have strong feelings, said Paul Cézanne. He said that because he never stopped looking at nature and what it can offer. He could express things like himself in his paintings of still life, portrait, and pieces of work from his imagination and landscapes. The painting above is by Edouard Manet. This is called the Spanish Ballet. This was painted in 1862. Manet was a member of a wealthy family. He studied under the history painter Thomas Couture. With this painting, he had the dark palette with figures on the flat background. He could use white a lot in the 4 central figures. Next one. The image above shows painting that Edward Manet had painted in 1863. This painting is called Olympia. This painting was exhibited at the Salon in 1865. The style of the painting was almost clinical, which has a fragile clarity to it. The women's body contrasts with the dark background, which is simplified. The painting is by Manet and is called The Port of Bologna in the Moonlight. I don't know if I pronounced that part right. This was painted in 1869. Manet's family spent a lot of time in Bologna, so when he was there, he painted several sea and harbour scenes. He painted with blues, greys, whites, blacks, which gave it harmony. Even though it is dark, the painting has a good detail, which is shown in the brushstrokes that Manet uses. The painting above is by Manet and is called Rose and Tulip. This was painted in 1882. This is one of the last paintings that Manet painted. This was painted in February and he died the same year but in April. During the last 2 years of his life, he wasn't moving as much as he did small, still life paintings like the one above. The painting above is one of the 16 flower study paintings that he did in the last year of his life. He painted the flowers that his friends probably gave him because he was ill. This painting above is by Camille Pissarro and is called L'Offensiveness. I don't know how to pronounce that. Which is painted in 1872. Pissarro was born in the West Indies. He worked close to Cézanne for 10 years. Then he developed his own painting style for the movement of Impressionism. He was concerned with the snow scene, in which how the light reflected on the snow. And there's also correct colours such as lilac, pink, blue, as shown in the shadows of the painting. This painting shows influence of early photography because of its composition. The painting above is by Pissarro and is called The Toilette, which was painted in 1883. He had a large family. The year that was eventful for Pissarro was 1883 because he had his first mainly solo exhibitions at the gallery of Paul de Radruel, who is an art dealer. This painting is a quick watercolour sketch, which is a different technique that he has used compare his other paintings. The watercolour gives it transparency so you can see the mother washing behind the child's ears, which could be shown if it was painted in oil paints. He has black outlines which he fills with watercolour paint. The Society de Rebelle against the policies which was conservative juries that were from Paris. This later as a focal point of the art activity of the avant-garde. Also the rebellion that was driving force of modernism in Paris. Overall, artists in the Impressionist movement painted quickly because they painted outside or in a spot that the environment could change, for example the time of day or weather. Many artists show scenes of things happening in cities or events they could capture in the moment it was happening, like a photograph. This art movement was the most important one, even though it wasn't revolutionary or a radical one. The Impressionist movement was responsible for all of the modernist movements. The modern movement like Monet, Manet and Pissarro and the others were broke the rules, so one day the radical forms in artwork could be accepted. When there was a last of the independent exhibitions in 1886, there was a focus that was drawn to the beginning of the youth phase. The phase was avant-garde. And that's it. So yeah, I feel like the Impressionist movement, like for what Manet and was it Renoir or Pissarro did, they did like a series of paintings that were from like the same place but different. So it's kind of like I've done it in the past, like you took a photograph and then on Photoshop you edit it like different colours, like, and different like editing effects and things like that. So I kind of relate to that part, and I've also done drawings like similar. It's like I did the 100-page challenge, but some of the work that I did, I photocopied and did something with that, and so I wouldn't ruin the original, but I did many versions of the same type of drawing, so it kind of relates to what the impressionist artist did. So I feel like I could relate to that in that aspect, and I kind of like some of the paintings that they did. And I was surprised that even watercolour was used, because from what I've noticed, it was mainly oil paints that were used, but not many watercolour. From what I've seen, they're probably out there, but I haven't seen them. So I kind of like Monet and Pissarro and Renoir. It's not like similar work that I do, because I don't do many paintings, but when I do paint, it's not exactly in their style, but everyone has their own style of painting that they use. So yeah, so I feel like that was my impression that I got it. So that was my first year essay. So the grammar could have been better from like self-critiquing my own work. Could have pronounced the word yet. Yeah, so yeah, I kind of like that art movement. And the next one after that was avant-garde. So I may look into that movement in the future, because I don't know. Because I don't think I know any of the artists in that movement. I probably know, but don't recognise them for that movement, if you get what I mean. So if you have any questions or any thoughts you may have on this movement, please let me know. And if you have any like facts that you want to share, please comment below as well, so it helped me learn and become a better artist, and it might help you as well to talk about it. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and yep, so all my links to my social media next pages are down below. And if you, like I've just said, if you have any questions, thoughts or ideas, comment below. And if you want me to do something like a vlog about something, please comment that below. And please subscribe to my channel and check out all my other videos, because I do reactions and sketchbook vlogs, things like that. So yeah, thank you, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye.